Okay, so I have one of the competitors this weekend looking for the very first title on Rat Fighting Championship in the bantamweight division as well. So it's a bit of history for the show. It'll be a bit of history for the guys and especially the person that wins it. So I have Mr. Henry Leka out of Cmac. Fantastic talent. Thinks he's gone under the radar a bit by a lot of people haven't been watching him. So maybe that's easier. There's less pressure. I don't know, but you've got your title shot, which I think you've deserved for a while. Thank you very much for joining me. How are you on this fight week?
Yeah, I feel good for this fight week, But to be fair, for me, like it doesn't really change anything. It's all just the same, for me, like the only thing I change for fight camp is just my food. So, like to be fair, like I always just feel the same. And as far as for training, again, training's the same. Just everything. I don't really change my style depending on who I fight. I just really just go on there and just scrap. So
Yeah, I know.
yeah,
I think you're better like that as well. I think, especially at amateur, I think when it comes to like like Alexander and Keaton all in cage wars, when you're coming up to like the tough fights or title fights, like I think you do
yeah,
kind of need to sometimes adapt a bit because there's
yeah,
much more
exactly.
in it. But I think as an amateur, like you want to put your fighting style, stamp that down, let people know who
Yeah.
you are. If you're worrying about everyone, then like what style do you have? So I like that attitude, but with training, like I said, you're always kind of ready. The only thing you change is obviously your food and your diet to get down to the weight. How hard is it coming up? Obviously, fight week comes up and then you go from 100 miles an hour to boom, a kind of week of rest. How hard is that to manage from being so busy to being not as busy?
To be fair, it doesn't really change much to me. To me, it's all just the same. If I have a fight, I don't have a fight, it's all just the same to me, you know? So,
Yeah, so fight week's just more like the weight cutting and stuff. Do you cut much
yeah,
weight yourself?
exactly.
Is it a big weight cut, a small weight cut, or
Yeah. Well, no, like when I used to go down to flyweight, that was pretty tough. But yeah, but now for bantamweight, it's pretty easy. So now I can actually kind of eat what I want and then still make the weight. But yeah, but that's actually the reason why that I did move up to 61, just because I thought maybe for amateur the weight cut doesn't really make sense to cut too much weight in amateur. For pro, then I'll have to start doing it because people at 61 are really big. But as far as for amateur, there's just no point to cut that much weight.
yeah, and I think obviously the smaller, yeah, like in the weight classes, it's different if you're someone at welterweight cutting like like 6 or 7 kg, but when you're cutting it, that's a
Yeah,
huge percentage of your actual body weight, the
yeah,
sort of weight, and
exactly. Yeah.
it gets dangerous. And I like what you said. Just go out there, fight, learn the trade. As you come to the end of amateur, and if you're gonna when you're gonna be going pro, if you want to go to flyweight, your last 2 or 3 fights, kind of to try and get that right. Then right now, I
Mhm.
think like you're skilled enough at the weight. Obviously, as you can see, you don't need to cut. I don't think amateurs should cut until you're coming into the tail end of your amateur career. But
Yeah, exactly.
Nate, and obviously you said you don't kind of prepare for an opponent, but what do you think of Nate? And I think
Yeah.
his last 2 performances have been quite good. He's a really tricky opponent, as are yourself. What do you make of Nate, and what are you expecting from him this weekend?
I mean, I think he's a good opponent. What I expect from him is I think he's gonna shoot at me like straight away. Because now I've been doing a lot of striking now lately, especially my last fight. So I think when he's gonna watch my fights that I've been striking more, I think he's just gonna shoot straight off the bat. If he doesn't, I think the striking stages I'll definitely win them, I think. And then he's a very good grappler. I think the grappling will be 50-50, I think. So what I expect from him is to shoot right away. If he doesn't, I think it'll be more towards me if he doesn't do that. And then as far as from him being able to take me down, I think he is pretty big and he's strong, but I just don't think he'll be able to take me down. If he does, I think I can just stand back up anyway. You know, I'll be able to stand back up, get to my feet, even reverse him. But I think it will be a tough fight for me anyway. Because he's not like because especially because it's his first time going down to 61. Like he's gonna be pretty big as well. So because for strength reasons and everything, he will be a hard opponent, and because he is pretty skilled on the ground. So
Yeah, I like that because he's coming down. He's going to be the big one, but also it's his first time coming down. So, like you said, obviously go down to flyweight was hard. He might be a little bit more drained, but we'll see.
yeah,
Obviously, he's in a good gym, so I'm sure they have him prepared really, really well for it. And he
yeah,
is someone
exactly, yeah,
I've been watching for years. He is very tricky on the ground, but you're also very good on the ground. You're very smothering. You're very. What I've noticed is when you get people down, they just look so for like so. It's like I'm not getting like no matter what they find it really hard to get up. And do you
yeah.
feel that you're breaking, especially when you fight people who are primarily strikers? Obviously, you've been working on your striking yourself, like I said, but primarily strikers, when you get them down and they can't get back up to strike with you, can you feel them breaking as that's happening? Because I can see in their
Yeah,
face when it's like the second or third round they've been taken down again that they're just like fuck me, you know.
yeah,
I can't like can you feel that at the time and feel their body language changing and feel the kind of tension of them changing when you're doing that?
yeah. Like for example, when I take people down, I don't want to brag too much, but I feel like when I take them down, they're like, "Holy shit, this guy's strong," you know. And I think so far in all my fights, I've always been a stronger person. I've always been a strong person. Even if I am the smaller one, I'm always the strongest one. So I can tell every time when I grapple with them at first, they're like, "Oh shit, like this guy's strong," like you know. And then, but I kind of want to stray away from that style just for holding people down now. I want to go in more into striking, but still keep my grappling, of course. But I want to stray away from just holding people down, you know. But
Yeah.
yeah, but as far as for what I said, yeah, for sure. Like I always feel like I'm always the strongest guy in there, you know.
Yeah, no, I think it's going to be a really, really good fight. That's why as soon as I seen the two names, I was like, yeah, I think we'll put them together. It's like, I think
Yeah,
you would earn the title shot 100%. And I think like that Nathan, he had a loss, I think, against someone on Clan Wars, but then he's come back, he's had a couple of good wins as well. So it's a really, really good fight to make. It's a really interesting one. But you're in CMAC. I just want to talk to you about what it's like being there. I mean, obviously you've got Alexander, Keith, Jordan, Ross. I could go on forever. Trevor. You've got a really good
yeah,
team there. It's not the biggest size gym in the world. You don't have the biggest amount of members, right? And this isn't me being disrespectful, but the talent coming out of there, it just shows you don't need all the shiny new equipment. You don't need this.
definitely
You
not.
just need a good coach who cares and a commitment. What's your thoughts on Alexander, CMAC, Debs, and all the guys there? And what does it mean to you to be there?
And for sure, like for me to be a part of CMAC is definitely a big deal, just because I think the reason why the gym has so much success is because whenever we don't train, we always go like, "Oh, like he's a bitch for not training or something," you know. So every time we always have to train because we don't want to, pretty much like we don't want to not train, and then we look like a bitch in front of the boys, pretty much, you know. And then it's just a case of that, it's just that if we don't post too much on Instagram, we're not posting every 10 seconds about we're doing pads, we're doing bag work, whatever. That's why we're so good. We just train, you know, and then we let our talent speak for ourselves. We don't just train and kind of just keep posting. We just train, we fight, and we look good during the fight, you know? And then and also because the main reason why CMAC is good, I think, is because there's not too many people. I think when there's too many people, then what happens, the coach doesn't really care about anybody too much. But because it's a small club, Alex really cares about everyone. Like he makes sure everyone does everything right. You know, whether if the club was a bigger club, it would have been like he might have two, three people that he likes, and the rest he doesn't really care too much. You know?
Yeah, and it's harder as it gets bigger for a coach to spend because there's a certain amount of time. Let's say he might need to spend with a fighter on a day. If you've got three or four times the amount of that, it's going to be burnout for him, impossible for him to do that. Then you're going to have to bring in other coaches and like because I like to set up there as kind of a family feel. It's a really good feel.
Yeah, yeah,
It's like it
definitely.
obviously it's a family affair because Debs and Alex both competed at the same IMAFs together. Not sure if that
Yeah,
has happened since, but when you see the success and you see the likes of Alexander and Keith and obviously Jordan Bradshaw as well over in France as well, I'm delighted for him. Uh, like, are you excited? Does that motivate you? Not motivate you more, but you see where you can go
yeah,
from
definitely.
DMAC. Obviously, when you do go pro, that's in the distant future. But what's it like seeing them going out and doing their things on these promotions?
Yeah, like when I see them compete, it gives me hope, a lot of hope, to know that you don't have to be from like Chechnya, like Dagestan or something, to go become a champion. When I see these guys, they literally live close to me. They live in that they live close to me. They train in the same gym and everything. It means that I kind of have the same path as them, which means if they doing all this, then I can do it too, you know. And then it's nice to know that I'm not the first one, because if you're the first one that has to lead the whole group, then like that is pretty hard. But because they're going first, and all I have to do is just stay behind them, and then I'm also gonna be able to go to Cage Wars, and from Cage Wars, UFC, whatever. So
Yeah, they've created the path for you, like to
yeah,
go there, and like I said, you don't have the pressure of being first, and that's what I love about Alexander O'Sullivan. He seems like he's been like he is an OG of the game, but he's still quite young.
yeah,
Like he finished his history or whatever it was in Trinity's, like, and then doing this and all. It's just fantastic to see. I really, really a great time for them. You've probably seen the MMA in depths I've done. I've done Alexander, Key, and Jordan because I seen them at the time. I was like, they're going to be special. I know it. But you're fighting obviously this weekend for the Rat. It's going to be the first time that there is a title on the show. In the grand scheme of things, in the whole MMA sphere, it's a small thing. But obviously for you, it's a big thing. For us, it's a big thing. It's going to be a part of history. How does it feel to potentially have the chance or to have the chance to become the first champion of the promotion?
Yeah, I mean, like it would be pretty cool to say I was the first one to get the belt in that promotion, you know? Especially because so far it looks like a good show. So I think in the future it's going to become even bigger. So it's going to be nice that even when I'm a pro fighter, they're still going to say, "Hey, our first champion was Henry Leka," you know. So I think it'll be like a cool thing to have, you know. So yeah,
Yeah.
it'd be nice.
Yeah, it's these little milestones, so that people go, oh, amateur titles and all don't matter. And I agree, obviously, in the grand scheme of things, they aren't hugely important. But at the time and to the person, it matters.
Mm.
And like, I think when you do have that belt, like, you've probably had issues with trying to get matched because a lot of people wouldn't want to like, oh, do you know what? I don't feel like fucking getting beat by Henry. But when you have that belt, they come forward a lot quicker. Do you know the sort of way they're like,
Yeah,
yeah, a
exactly. Yeah.
chance for a belt. You've also got another title fight coming up straight after as well, which is so a couple of weeks ago, there was no title shots. Now there's two title shots. How do you feel? Do you think this is due? Do you think it's something that should have happened before now?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, to be honest, I think I should have got one before. But at the same time, I don't really care too much because to me, it's just a belt. It doesn't really have a meaning, you know? Like, to me, what has meaning is if I was to go pro and win a fight, then that would have meaning to me. But so far, in amateur, I don't really care too much of who I beat, whatever. If for me, it's just experience, you know? A belt just looks good for Instagram or something. But just in terms of for myself, it doesn't really change anything. First is if I win a fight with a belt or without a belt, it's just the same thing, you know?
Just a little shiny kind of take home for you, and it's more about the
Yeah,
performance than the actual
yeah,
bet and to see the
exactly, yeah,
improvements. And like that, you've
exactly.
got two good tests coming up as well. Like I really like both fights. Obviously because I made one of them, so I gotta like that one, and then I like the other fight after as well. What do you make of the amount of shows we have as an amateur fighter, which to have the choice and because you know you said fights fall out, it's easy to then get on another show. With the amount of shows we have, how does that make you feel as a fighter to know you've that many options?
Oh yeah, very good. Because when I see other places, I think a lot of other countries seem to struggle with being able to find fights because they always have to fly out. Like they have to go to UK, they have to go to Scotland. In Ireland, we have a lot of shows, you know. But because especially because it's amateur, I don't want to spend money to go fly out. Or even if I get paid to go out, fly out, it's just gonna be like a pain in the ass to go all the way to a different country, make weight, then go fight. It's nice to know that I literally have to drive like maybe 2-3 hours away to fight, and it's still here. Like it's still in like it's still close to where I live, kind of, you know. But like it's nice to know that I don't have to fly out to another country. It's just max 2-3 hours drive, and I'm here, and I go make weight, I fight, and done, you know.
And then back, you're all about business. Boom, 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 out. And it's
Yeah,
like
yeah, all
make
fast,
weight,
fast. Yeah, just you get it done fast, you know.
make weight, fight, win the fight back home. And I kind of get you if like when you're a pro and you're brought over a couple of days in advance, so you can actually do the weight there. Whereas here you'd have to do the weight on like a Friday morning and potentially fly out either Saturday night or
Yeah,
Friday night or Saturday morning, which it isn't ideal. It is good to get out there, but you've been to IMAS and stuff, so you have traveled. But we have the talent on this island alone to not have to do that because what you make of your division, I think the flyweight and the bantamweight are two of the most stacked divisions in the
yeah,
country at the minute.
definitely.
There's so many exciting fighters. Shay Cleveland, who you fought twice, I'm really, really high on. Like you're so exciting all. What do you make of the competition that you have around you and to better yourself going forward into pro?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like the competition here is actually insane. Like I went to the Euros and the Worlds now, yeah. And honestly, still my hardest fight was still here in Ireland. Still. You know? Like I've had tough fights over at the Euros and Worlds, but still, in Ireland, the talent is actually so good that I've had harder fights here than over there, you know? So and you can't say that about many places. I think Ireland is so underrated in terms of like the sport that we're in because there's loads of people here, like a lot of good guys, you know? But yeah, but I just think I don't think too many people actually know that, you know? Like people always want to go over to Euros and Worlds. I still think it's a good thing to go over, but they underrate the guys that you can fight here in Ireland, you know? So yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Jordan Scully actually said that as well. He's got 24
I,
fights. And he
is
said
it?
his
Yeah.
hardest fight was Sam Simon on IUR. He said that was because he got dropped in that fight. I think it's the only time he got dropped. But he said like that he loves going there, getting that experience. But he says most the harder fights he's had here, like for this little island, when you think about it, obviously Kiefer's gone now, and Kalen, but there was 6 or 7 in the UFC at one stage. We've got guys in Octagon. We've got loads in Cage Wars. Like how many fought on the Dublin card? Uh, You've got Octagon, you've got so many different promotions, LFL all around, and we're out there. And I think like that, I think it's just the level that we're at is because of the coaching and because of ye, because the way ye train. Do you know the sort of way? So
Yeah, definitely.
I think the scene is like that, man. You could for weeks and weeks I'm going to shows and I'm just like, even the novice levels now, you're like, oh my God, like these next kids are gonna be unreal. But look, I'm gonna let you go. Is there anything else you want to say before you go, or anyone you want to shout out? Thank you very much for your time. Best of skill this weekend. I'll be
Thanks.
commentating on your fight, which will be a pleasure.
Guys.
Yeah, so the floor is yours if you want to say anything.
I want to shout out Cmac and then Gaz Hickey as well. He's my PT, so I really thank him for what he did. And I really want to thank Cmac as well. So them too.
Yeah, perfect. Gaz Hickey, someone I actually am very fond of as well. He's a very good guy and he's getting you all whipped into shape. So yeah, I'll see you this weekend. Thank you so much. And
Okay,
if you need anything
sincere.
in the meantime, give us a shout.
Okay, thank you. See ya.